It's midnight. You're lying in the dark, watching a movie on a glowing rectangle propped on your chest. No wires, no cables. In another room, a plastic box the size of a paperback book is throwing that entire film through two walls, a closed door, and your own body. And it arrives so smoothly, you never see a single frame stutter. Right now, the air in your bedroom is full of movies, messages, voices, bank transfers. All of it is streaming through the space around your head this very second, and you can't see any of it. So, how does a movie fly through a brick wall? Before we start, one question. What do the letters in Wi-Fi actually stand for? Lock in your guess in the comments right now. By the end of this video, you'll find out if you were right, and the answer is stranger than you think. Start with the box in the hallway. Your router is, quite literally, a radio station, a broadcast tower shrunk down to something you can hold in one hand. And the signal it broadcasts is light. Not like light, it is light. Radio waves and the light your eyes see are the same physical thing. Electromagnetic waves, traveling at the same speed. The only real difference is size. A wave of visible light is about 0.005 of a millimeter long. A Wi-Fi wave is 12.5 centimeters, about the length of your hand. And that size is the whole trick. To the tiny waves of visible light, a brick wall is a dead end. But long, lazy radio waves slip through wood and plaster and brick, almost the way sound slips through a closed door. Your walls are see-through, just not to you. Now the harder question. How do you write a movie onto light? The same way sailors once wrote messages onto lamplight. You flicker it. Every photo, every video, every word you've ever sent is, underneath, just ones and zeros. Your router takes that stream and flicks the wave to match, nudging its height and its timing into different shapes. Modern Wi-Fi can form more than 1,000 distinct shapes, packing 10 ones and zeros into every single flick. And it flicks millions of times per second. Each flick crosses your bedroom at the speed of light, wall to wall in about 30 billionths of a second. But here's the strange part. We understood all of this physics for the better part of a century, and indoor wireless still didn't work. What finally fixed it wasn't a bigger antenna or more power. It was a failed hunt for exploding black holes. We'll get there. In 1942, the most famous actress in Hollywood walked into the United States Patent Office. Her name was Hedy Lamarr, and between films, she invented things. With the composer George Antheil, she patented a way to make a radio signal hop rapidly between frequencies, inspired by player piano rolls, so enemies could never jam a torpedo's guidance signal. The Navy filed her idea away and suggested she sell war bonds instead. Half a century later, frequency hopping was written into the very first Wi-Fi standard. Then, in 1971, a professor named Norman Abramson faced a very Hawaiian problem. The University of Hawaii was scattered across islands, and cables were expensive. So he linked the campuses with radio and built the first wireless computer network in history. He called it ALOHANet. ALOHANet's real invention was politeness. Rules for what happens when two machines talk at once. Those rules, refined, still run inside every device you own. But the decision that made Wi-Fi possible came from a stranger place: the garbage. In 1985, pushed by an engineer named Michael Marcus, the American government opened a few slices of radio spectrum for anyone to use, no license required. Nobody had fought over them because they were junk. The same frequencies microwave ovens leak into. Companies were told, build whatever you want, in the trash. There was just one problem. Indoors, radio doesn't behave. Send a signal across an office, and it doesn't arrive once. It arrives dozens of times, bouncing off the ceiling, the floor, the filing cabinets, each echo landing a fraction of a second behind the last, smearing the message into mush. Engineers called it Multipath. It's the reason experts believed fast indoor wireless was close to impossible. The fix came from space. In the 1970s, a young engineer named John O'Sullivan was hunting for exploding black holes. Tiny ones that the physicist Stephen Hawking predicted should die in a burst of radio waves. To spot those faint bursts, smeared by their journey across space, O'Sullivan built new mathematics for unsmearing radio signals. He never found a single black hole. But in 1992, at Australia's National Science Agency, the CSIRO, O'Sullivan and his team pointed that same mathematics at a much smaller problem: office echoes. Instead of sending data as one fast stream, they split it across many slower parallel frequencies, spaced so the echoes couldn't corrupt each other. It worked. Indoor radio suddenly ran faster than anyone believed possible. That patent went on to earn Australia more than $400 million in royalties. There is a piece of a failed black hole hunt sitting in your hallway right now. In 1997, the technology became an official standard, catchily named IEEE 802.11, moving 2 megabits per second. 2 years later, Steve Jobs stood on a stage, loaded a web page on a laptop, and passed the laptop through a hula hoop to prove there were no hidden wires. The room gasped. The technology just needed a better name. In 1999, the companies behind the standard hired a branding agency, Interbrand, to find one. Interbrand pitched 10 names. The winner? Wi-Fi. So, what does it stand for? Nothing. Not wireless fidelity, not anything. Phil Belanger, a founding member of the Wi-Fi Alliance, confirmed it. They simply wanted something catchier than 802.11b direct sequence, and Wi-Fi sounded like hi-fi. The wireless fidelity story came later, from the Alliance's own short-lived slogan, a marketing accident people have repeated for 25 years. If that was your guess, you're in good company. The comments are waiting. Now, back inside your house, because the air is getting crowded. Your phone, your laptop, your TV, your doorbell, they all share the same thin slice of spectrum, so every device follows the old Hawaiian rule. Listen first. If someone else is talking, stay silent. Wait a random, polite moment, and try again. Your gadgets are holding a flawlessly courteous conversation thousands of times a second, and you never hear a word of it. And your movie never travels whole. It's chopped into thousands of numbered packets, fired one by one, each one acknowledged by your device like a tiny receipt. Any packet that goes missing is quietly sent again. Stream one film, and this happens hundreds of thousands of times. But there's a saboteur in your kitchen. Your microwave oven runs at almost exactly the same frequency as your router. That's precisely why those frequencies were considered garbage. The difference is power. The oven roars at around 1,000 watts. Your router whispers at about 1/10 of one, 10,000 times weaker. The oven's mesh door holds most of the blast inside. Most. If your video stutters on popcorn night, that isn't superstition, that's physics. And the biggest signal blocker in your home is you. Your body is roughly 60% water, and water drinks up radio waves at this frequency. That's literally how the oven cooks. Stand between your phone and your router, and you dim the connection like a curtain drawn across a window. Which brings us to now. That first standard moved 2 megabits per second. Wi-Fi 7, finalized in 2024, can move more than 20,000 times faster. The Wi-Fi Alliance estimates more than 20 billion Wi-Fi devices are in use, more than 2 for every human being alive. And engineers have started running the whole idea in reverse. If your body disturbs the waves, then the waves can be read to detect your body, motion, falls. Researchers have even measured breathing. The next chapter, Wi-Fi sensing, is already being written into the standards. The box in your hallway is quietly becoming a kind of radar. So, back to midnight. You, in the dark, a movie floating onto the glowing rectangle in your hands. Passing through your walls right now is light you will never see. Light carrying a Hollywood star's anti-jamming trick, the politeness rules of the Hawaiian Islands, and the mathematics of a black hole hunt that never found a black hole. For all of human history, the air in that room was silent and empty. It took us less than one lifetime to fill it with light that speaks. We get curious about the stuff nobody thinks to ask. Subscribe and feed your idle curiosity.